one of my responsibilities is to hold and present and produce the final budget of the city. And I'm constantly looking for ways to be able to make sure that there's a good presentation of the budget and that the residents can actually read it. So I've been looking for different things for many years. At a conference back in 2013, I ended up smelling cookies. And it was fresh-baked cookies in between classes. So I go to get the cookies and say, no, I better wait till after class. I come back after my session, and I find OpenGov has these cookies, but they're all gone. But what I did end up finding out is that they have an excellent presentation method for our budget. People can go in and actually see firsthand and manipulate the data in the budget. And I have other people here that are going to help to present that and explain that a little bit better than I. This morning we have Councilwoman Natalia Rudiak, who helped to bring this to the table. We have Controller Lamb, who helps with the implementation of this, and we have Mayor Peduto. This took the cooperation of all three entities to be able to produce this and put this out. So it's been quite an interesting adventure, and we're going to have a great product for you. First, I'd like to bring up Mayor Peduto. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Bill. And before I say anything, I just want to thank and also congratulate Bill Urbanek. This is something that started several years ago. He talks about it as just bringing back knowledge that he had from a conference, which is why we go to these conferences. But it was really not just that knowledge, but the commitment of seeing it through. Without him leading this, it wouldn't have happened. And it was through the combined efforts of our offices that we understood that knowledge is power, that giving people the opportunity to have these tools can get them not only more engaged in city government, but also give them the ability to see how their tax dollars are being spent. So what is OpenGov? Well, let me put it to you this way. Back in June of 2003, four of us, Kevin Acklin, myself, Matt Barron, and Dan Gilman, set on a path to try and go through the budget in order to create a new budget. In other words, we wanted to go line by line, department by department, and look at every position and then see how we could sort of change things around and what it would look like and be able to get the numbers for it and see where we'd have to add, subtract. And we couldn't do it because the budget was in PDF form. So Matt had to spend countless hours entering every line item, every single budgeted position of the city into a database so we had something to work with. Those days are now gone. Not only can you get that information now, but you can use it and manipulate it. You can look at what the estimated budget was and compare it to what the actual budget was. You can go and back to 2012, 2013, 2014 in our estimated budget for 2015 and look at departments and see how spending may have changed. You can get all that information and put it into a pie chart or a graph chart or whatever type of information you want to see so you can actually visualize it. And you can use that to help to understand how your tax dollars are being spent. OpenGov gives the power of what used to be in a big book, our budget, to the people in a platform that they can use to get the information that they want. And not information coming from government, but information coming directly from them. I want to thank the Controller's Office and Controller Mike Lamb for putting in the long hours to be able to get this program not just running but done in a way that will put it at the forefront of governments. And I want to thank Councilwoman Rudiak, who has made it her mission to get information to people and to create one of the most open government, transparent governments in the country. Her legislation last year won accolades for around the country for being one of the most transparent operating systems for a city government. And now with open government, she's able to push that a little bit further and able to get information to people that they can actually use. So with that, Mr. Urbanek?
Yes. We're going to bring on Controller Michael Lamb. And as Michael comes up, I want to thank Andrew DeWitt, who's been a project lead on this and has done and put in countless hours, done a lot of work, as well as Marcus Jester, our computer wizard in the Controller's office there.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you for being here and to talk about this today. You know, when I took office, one of the things that we really tried to do was open the window on city finances, and so we started that with Open Book Pittsburgh and looking at the contractual relationships and the political contributions in the city. Then we started the PAFR, which is the Public Financial Report, so to make our financial data more readily available and understandable to people. And as we were doing that, we started thinking about, okay, now how can we actually look at the actual spending that's going on? We already produce these monthly reports, and they're available. But as the mayor said, they're basically PDF versions of data, information out there. And we started thinking about this, and I guess serendipity or whatever, Bill Urbanek and Natalia Rudiak were thinking along the same lines, and had already gone and started to look at this platform, OpenGov, that we were presented with by the councilwoman and by Bill, which actually just meshed exactly with what we were trying to do. And so we were able to then start talking about this. This isn't just taking the budget book and giving you a nice picture of it. This is an actual look at comparative spending, year to year, month to month, so that you can actually see where we compare to as per budget, but also where we compare to as to prior years. So that data that we generate every month now will now be presented in a way that you'll be able to look at it graphically to see real spending on a monthly basis. You can compare year-to-date numbers with prior years. You can look at what we did in 2014 versus what we did in 2013, or what we did in 2014 versus what we did to budget. All of those that data will be presented in a graphic way that, again, opens the doors, opens the windows of city finance to people who want to know, particularly you guys in the media who always have a lot of questions about how things are working, where we are. This will be a great tool for you in explaining the city's financial situation. So, again, a lot of thanks all the way around to Mayor Peduto and his administration, to Councilwoman Rudiak and City Council, and to, in our office, again, Andrew DeWitt, Mark Jester, who did a great job in helping to bring this together, and of course Brooke Simmons is here from OpenGov to talk about that as well and just show you and demonstrate for you what a great tool this can be. So again, everyone, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Excellent. In order to make this happen, you needed a champion, and we have a great champion in City Council, my finance chair, Councilwoman Natalia Rudiak. Her belief in OpenGov and making sure that the residents get the data they need is paramount in making this happen. Her belief in this project, too, has made this come to fruition. Natalia, come on. And as the controller said, Brooke Simmons is going to come up right after and give you a demonstration.
All right. A lot of folks have already mentioned some of the positive things about this, but I have to say that on a day-to-day basis, you'll see in the press or even in the halls of government squabbling or things that are difficult between different branches of government. But this is definitely one of those things where everybody came together for the common good and for a common goal, and this is to improve transparency and accountability in city government. And as City Council's finance chair, that is my top priority. We are engaging taxpayers in the budget process, and we are doing what we can to make this information more open to public review and to public scrutiny. That's why I sponsored a legislation to bring this program like OpenGov to Pittsburgh. Mayor Peduto talked about the PDF budget, and I'm sure many in the media have gone out to download those large PDF documents that were and still difficult to read, let alone analyze. So OpenGov is going to turn all of that on its head. It's going to provide a user-friendly interface to view and compare budget items and departmental spending down to the smallest budget categories that we track. It displays the budget information in really stunning and easy to understand visual formats, but then you can also download the raw data for the data nerds in the audience that may want to use it in different applications. One thing that hasn't been mentioned is that OpenGov also has a social component too, so you can download or share the charts that you create to Facebook or Twitter. You can email them. You can even submit questions to city administrators directly through the site. So the tool really has an amazing ability to start and support public conversations about government spending. So again, I would argue that if our goals are honest budgeting and responsible spending, we have nothing to hide and nothing to lose. We have so much to gain. We're going to spend less time fulfilling right-to-know requests. We're going to have a more informed public. We're going to hear about what we're doing right, and we will certainly hear about what can be most improved. So the leaders you see here in front of you today are all about improving this process and getting it right. And so I think I speak for all of us when I say that I look forward to your participation and your feedback. Thank you.
And I'd like to introduce Brooke Simmons, who's going to go through a brief presentation for you on how the program works.
Thank you. As Bill mentioned, I am Brooke Simmons, a representative from OpenGov. We are a financial transparency and reporting software based out in the Bay Area in California. We work with over 250 governments across the nation, and I'm very excited to be here today because this is one of the best showings of cross-departmental support for open government that I have seen at any one of our customers. The city of Pittsburgh is one of our largest customers, so we're excited to be launching this to the public today. I'm going to do a short demonstration of the live platform. I'm actually demoing from my laptop, just connected to the internet. Any of you can get on and access this information right now. Welcome to the City of Pittsburgh's Financial Transparency Platform. This site is designed to help you understand how the City of Pittsburgh spends and receives money. When you visit the site for the first time, you'll be greeted by this welcome screen. This welcome screen links to two help menus: a handy how-to guide that provides a navigational overview of the platform, as well as a Budget 101 guide to give a short guide to multi-fund accounting. You can click Get Started to dismiss the welcome screen and come to the City of Pittsburgh's default annual report, displaying expenses back to the 2012 actual fiscal year through the 2015 budget. When you land on this default page, you'll notice the City of Pittsburgh has preset some FAQs as saved views on the left-hand side. You can click directly on these links to learn more about what revenue sources contribute to the city's general fund. And the graph will live update to give you the answer to your question. You can also click on other save views to get the answers to your questions, like what are the city's overall revenues and expenses? Or how does the city divide up the general fund among the city's departments? You can also click directly on any area of the graph to learn more. If you hover over any data point, a tooltip will pop out with detailed data. You can click into any region on the graph to learn more about, say, public safety spending. Clicking into public safety gives you all of the divisions within public safety, like emergency medical services and the police bureau. You can drill in even deeper into the police bureau to learn more about their spending. OpenGov's advanced filter tools allow you to analyze this data among many different criteria. Clicking over to the filter panel left allows you to break down this expense data instead of by department structure, but by expense type instead, to analyze what kind of expenses the police bureau is spending within the city. Hovering over the graph now, you can see information related to personnel salaries, personnel employee benefits, and you can even click in further to analyze what kind of salaries we're paying out within the police bureau. At any time, you can change your graph type as well. You can go to a percentage graph, a stacked graph, a line graph, a pie graph, and even scroll back in time, or a bar graph. At any time, you can click the View Table function or simply scroll down your screen to see the detailed data contained in the graph above. If you only want to see a limited set of years, you can use the fiscal year slider at left to zoom in on just a select set of years. Integrated share and download menus allow you to easily share this information with other citizens or colleagues. The share menu offers integrated social media connections, as well as an email option that allows you to send a link to this exact graph to the recipient of your email. The download option allows you to download an image of the graph or of the table below, or even download the table as a raw spreadsheet into an Excel. If you ever get stuck, use the help menu to navigate back to the How To, Welcome screen, or Budget 101 guides, or even contact the City of Pittsburgh directly. We're really excited to be launching this today. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to me or anyone within the Controller's office. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. I guess that's it. Do you have any final comments?
If anyone has questions about what you've seen today or...
So what exactly did it take to do this, and how much did it cost?
Well, Bill could probably answer this better, but obviously it took the action of council, and we did have a champion on council, and Councilman Rudiak.
By software?
Yeah, the council approved a contract with OpenGov not to exceed $20,000.
It was 15.
15, and I think the actual cost was around 15. Which working with them now, as I said, they host this. What we do is provide them the data. As you know, our monthly reports are tweaked a little bit. I mean, there are some things that that are in that monthly report that you wouldn't see here. When we do some transfers and some of those kind of things. But so we basically take that data and it's provided to OpenGov. One thing I will note on here is, as you're looking through this, is this still up? Okay, so even on this, even on what you're looking at here, one of the issues that we have, and something that Director Ashbaugh is addressing right now, are these citywide issues, citywide pensions, citywide benefits. Obviously, we want to see that spread across the departments. So as we get new budget line items across departments for these costs to be spread across those departments, this will give you, I think, an even better picture of where we are and what we're doing departmentally. So the work that was done as far as the implementation, mostly done with Andrew and Marcus and our place, just being able to pull the data in a way that OpenGov is able to use it, and then they enter it into their platform. So,
is there like you got to pay monthly for this?
No, it's an annual cost.
15 grand.
Yeah.
I guess you're looking for a market, obviously, and you're looking for people, citizens, to find this. But I guess what would be the goal for the number of people to read this and really benefit on this? And how many people do you think are out there that are going to want to access this? And what is the goal? I guess.
Well, I guess it's true that we're looking for people, but I think more people are looking for us. People want this information. We get calls all the time for various questions about, well, how much gets spent on this, and how much gets spent on that, and how much overtime do we have this month? Those kind of things, and those questions are now readily at your fingertips. Where before it might have taken a little bit of research to pull that information. Now here it is, right for you. It will be updated monthly. We typically produce the monthly report around the middle of the month. So in the middle of February, we'll be updating this with January's numbers. So you'll be able to see what was spent in January versus what was budgeted for the 2015 budget versus what's been spent in prior Januaries. And I think it's a helpful tool for us, to help us keep on track budgetarily, but I think more importantly for the public to see how their money is being spent, in what categories, and how much is an important tool. Obviously, today we're launching this in a way because we do want that engagement. We want people involved. We'll continue to have we've created a fiscal focused Twitter page, so we'll tweet out different graphs from time to time just so people can see what's going on and get people more engaged in this process. But I think it's again, information presented in a way that hasn't been presented before. The first year we did the Popular Financial Report, I remember the prior administration criticized us for it because why would you do that? Why would you spend this money? And why would you do? I mean, we get more questions about that report. People call us every year now and say, "Hey, when's it coming out? When we want to see what's going on." So and we don't do a wide distribution of that. We distribute that to community groups, so it's not a huge distribution, but it's online and people go online and look at it and they can see it. So it's this is the kind of thing that will pick up more and more users as time goes on, and I think it's something that you guys will be using more, maybe even more so than the public.
So what all's on here? Is it budget, pension?
It's everything. It's all revenues and all expenditure. So if if you want to go in, one of the things that Brooke showed you was the revenues. You can go into those tax revenues and see where are we on property tax, where are we on parking tax, where are we on amusement tax. You'll be able to do that not just on an annual basis, but month to month. So.
Some cities and state governments have salary roster databases. Did you guys contemplate adding that to this with individual employee salaries?
We have it that you can look at salaries by department. You can look at salaries citywide, so you can see where we are salaries. We do not break it down by position. Is that what you're asking?
I just mean, individual employees like Controller Michael Lamb's salary, your department by person.
Yeah, that's not in here. This is the raw numbers of spending by department by type.
Just to follow up real quick on your question, I think besides the media, besides the general public, internally some of our managers may be able to use this data in doing reports, but also Harrisburg, other important individuals. I don't know how many times we get called by folks involved in our oversight, whether it's the ICA, Act 47 folks. These people now remotely be able to have that information and can call up and ask the question, hey, why is this like this, as opposed to trying to get the numbers up front.
If I can chime in there, I mean, it's City Council's role to approve the budget and essentially draft the budget every year. So we, as legislators, and myself as finance chair, look forward to using this tool to do comparables from year to year and see what the mayor sent us, and actually be able to see what's going on.
And just look at what you're looking at right now. There's good news. There's the good news there. We're doing a little preemie to the CAFR. We beat budget. We came in under budget in 2014. So kudos to the mayor and to council for that. It's interesting information, and I think as time goes on, even more so as you're able to compare month to month and year to year.
You say about $1 million, huh?
Well, what's the number? I can't. Am I on here? Here. Well, 471, not 650 versus 490, so about 9 million under budget.
Let me scroll. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's even the numbers there. It's even better. So 471 is the estimated actual. Now again, these haven't been audited, but that's basically where we were at the end of the month of December, versus 490 versus 461 in 2013. So there you go, under budget.
9 million.
9 million.
Are you going to continue to build on this? It sounded like you're going to be adding more information.
Yeah, one of the things that we will do, I think, as we go on is while right now you can drill down into the various types, we want to be able to even go further. So while you can drill in, say, in the one we always look at is benefits. In personnel, you can look at benefits, you can see the benefit cost. We want to be able to see even a lower level of detail, so we can actually see not just what's going into health care versus pensions versus workers' comp. We want to be able to see how much is going to sick day buybacks, and how much is going to all those various sub accounts within that department, so we can see all that. That's not in here yet, but it will be. So the one thing that'll happen over the next year or so is that this information will even become more detailed than it is now.
And this helps us with our entire financial platform, the JDE platform, as far as what level of detail should be entered in as well, too. And I think a lot of that's going to depend on what we hear back from people as well, too, and what our needs are.
The other thing is we haven't really thought about this, but we thought about it, but we don't know that we want to do it. There are some cities that are using this platform, Brooke, am I right, that do in real time? Or close to real time. Yeah. So they
mostly to transactional level.
Yeah. So you can actually see at a transactional level, that's that kind of level of detail on spending. So we're not quite there yet, but that's something that we could pursue moving forward.
So this is up online today?
It's up online today. It's on the city controller's website here in at the city, Fiscal Focus Pittsburgh, and you'll be able to pull it up and play with it and do whatever you want to do. Again, some of the presets on the left-hand side here, with some of the questions, some of the most asked questions that we get. But we encourage you, go on. play with it. You have questions, call us. If you have other detail that you'd like to see moving forward, or maybe there's actually a way you could do it now, then we can show you how to do that. These filters are very powerful tools, and particularly when you get into some of the by departmental salary information, it's pretty enlightening. So
Online today, or did it one earlier in the week?
it's actually online today. It's online to the public
Open
today.
up at 8 a.m. this
It's open
morning.
up at 8 a.m. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can find it directly on the city's homepage. So you go to City of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
It'll
And
be right
it's
there, Fiscal
current
Code.
as of January, right?
Yeah, it's current as of the end of the year. Excuse me. Yeah. So the January month just finished. We have a 35-day close on our monthlies. So and then we do a little bit of analysis on that, and then it'll be dumped in. So certainly toward the middle of the month, we'll have the data to OpenGov, and that'll be reviewable by probably the third week of February. You'll be able to see January's information. So
you're going to be able to see information current as of the prior month.
right. Yeah, just like we do now. Just like we do now with the monthly report. Now you'll see it in this more attractive presentation. Okay, everyone, thanks so much. Thanks for being here. If you have other questions, give us a call.